Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video about shipping your items or your things to Ghana. This video is going to be quite in detail because I just recently shipped a whole bunch of stuff to Ghana, so I just would like to let you guys know how it works and who you can ship with and stuff like that and how the process goes. You should know what you want to ship and why do you want to ship it to Ghana. So you can ship anything you want. You want to ship things that you know that you're not going to have a problem with when it gets to the port, that they'll try to get cleared. So let's say you want to ship a car. You can ship a car. You can ship your household items. You can ship your household appliances, your bed, your TV, anything you can think of, you should ship. However, I do have my opinion, but again, this is my opinion. Not everyone might agree with this. Certain household appliances, I don't think it's the greatest idea to ship those things out because of the difference in the voltage. Ghana's electricity is 220 volts for input, while in the States, and I'm talking about a perspective from the States. I'm not quite sure about Europe and Asia and other countries or other continents. But from the States, it's a huge difference. And so what happens is that if you ship household appliances out to Ghana, you're gonna need a step down or transformer. Because of the problems that they have with electricity, sometimes the electricity shuts off. That's just a reality. And not only in Ghana, in most third world countries, and so, or at least developing countries. And so what happens is that if you don't shut off certain things, like you don't only shut off the fridge and then you shut off the transformer too, or you don't shut off the transformer and you shut off the fridge, the voltage is way too much power for the appliance, and sometimes they just burn out and they don't work. The transformer should prevent this, but again, sometimes things happen. And so I think it's a great idea to just get those things in Ghana. You can put it directly into the wall. You're not gonna have any problems. You just shut it off. Usually Ghana's voltage or Ghana's outlets, they have what I would call like a little switch. We don't have this in the States, but in Ghana they have this, which is smart because of the electricity issues, or sometimes the lights cutting off, or what we call doomsaw. The switch, once the lights shut off, you can click that switch, or you can hit that switch and then it would cut off the appliance, so that when the light does turn back on, or where they bring back the electricity, it doesn't burn out the wires and the appliance, so that you can just switch that back on and then your appliance would be okay. And I also say this because I'm going off on a tangent, but I'm also saying this because if you have an appliance that you need to be, if you need it to be fixed, or if you have like a missing part, or the appliance doesn't work, or it's just easier because the appliances, you bought it in Ghana, you probably most likely will have a warranty on it, and it's just easier to deal with versus having this huge, beautiful, let's say I'm using as an example because I have this Samsung French four-door fridge, and I bring it with me and it breaks down. Not to say that they can't fix it, but it's just so much harder to deal with. It's just too much. And I've seen this too happen with a lot of people, where they bring air conditioners, fridges, different stuff like that, like things that require a lot of energy, and they just, end up stop working. And now you're stuck with the appliance. And now you have to buy one in Ghana anyway. And mind you paid for the shipping. So not to go off on a tangent, let's go back to the shipping. So you can ship anything you want. Now, if you're shipping a car, that I would really take time and think about it. Because shipping a car, they have a lot of rules in Ghana about currently with shipping cars. Your car cannot be older than 10 years old, and if it is older than 10 years, I think you have to pay a heavy duty, even if it has to be like a luxury or a vintage car, like a collection car. That's what I understand. Also, if your car gets there, depending on the size of the car, the make and year of the car, stuff like that, or just basically the details about the car, will determine how much you have to pay in duty to get the car out of the port. So if your car, you know, you could have bought your car here in the States for like $5,000 used. It's not too bad. It's a simple 4-door regular car. You could pay easily about maybe $3,000 or $4,000 just to get the car out, because they just are preventing people bringing in cars. They want people to buy cars in Ghana because the cars are way too many that are being imported into the country. And so just keep this in mind that, you know, you'll pay twice. You could buy a car in Ghana and you wouldn't have to pay any duty or anything like that. Mind you, the cars in Ghana are not that bad. Everyone has this mentality, or at least most people have this mentality: I have to bring everything from the States. I have to bring everything from Europe with me. Yes, we know the products here are the best. Well, they're good because they have certain standards they have to meet before they enter the country. But there's cars that are in Ghana that people have also shipped over already, and you could just buy them used and use them there, and you couldn't buy them there. And they're actually really good for the terrain, because Ghana's roads, let's face it, they're not the best. So it's a developing country. You're gonna have all these bumps and hops, and your car is gonna be bouncing up and down, and it's just not meant for those nice smooth cars that, you know, usually are used to this smooth roads with no problem. Not to say we don't have potholes in the States, but it's rare to have something like where in Ghana you'll have like this entire stretch where you just be bumping the entire road. So it's just something to keep in mind. You might end up buying the car in Ghana. It's just the reality of it. Like for me, myself, I'm gonna buy a car in Ghana because I feel like it doesn't make any sense for me to ship over a car and then have to pay duty to get the car out. And I could just buy a car in Ghana, and I could have had that duty money to do something else with it. Because you could have bought another car sometimes with the money. Like I know, for instance, my parents sent over a car, and the car was, you know, a pretty good money. And then on top of that, they had to pay duty, and the duty was the same amount as the car. So I'm like, you could have bought 2 cars. So it just, to me, is a lot. And I think I could save money by just buying everything gone. I'm just like that. I'm that type of person. I will bring stuff with me. Like I said, I've sent and shipped a lot of stuff with me, but there's certain things that I'm like, these bigger things like the household appliances, the cars, the stuff like that, like I'd rather get that in Ghana. Okay, so like I said, depends on what you want to buy. What you want to ship and why. So also, like, where do you want to ship to? So usually they only have 2 options. They only have Accra and Kumasi. You can ship your items to. Usually, if you're shipping your things to Kumasi, it's a little bit more expensive. Not that much, but just a little bit more. Because Accra, you have Tema Harbor right there, so it's just easy for them to, you know, have it in Accra. But if it's going up to Kumasi, it's another trip. After getting to Tema, then it has to go inland. So, you know. So just keep that in mind as well. So also, depending on how you want to ship your items. So they have several options. I mean, depending on what you're shipping, but if you're shipping just miscellaneous things, you can either use a barrel, like, you know, those kind of round blue barrels, they have them. Or they also have the cardboard barrels. I've seen those too. And then also the boxes, like the wardrobes, depending on the size. They have different sizes. So the barrels are a little bit cheaper in terms of how they send. The prices vary depending on the shipping company that is, you know, you're working with. I know I've sent a barrel over that was like less than $100 one time. But I didn't, apparently the wardrobe, you can stuff more stuff in there. So I started doing that because I liked the wardrobe. It was much more sturdier, much more roomier. So, and then, you know, so I liked it. And also, depending on the wardrobe that you get, sometimes the wardrobes, usually they're like, you can get them at any storage company, like any moving or storage, like a U-Haul or like any storage company. The wardrobes are pretty good because you can open up the front of them and then like literally put your stuff in and take your time and not have to feel like with the barrel, you literally have to like put your whole entire body in there to put stuff in there, and you know, it's kind of uncomfortable. You can't really sufficiently put your things in properly. But with the wardrobe, you can take your time and put everything nicely. So depending on what you're sending. So usually like for the wardrobe, depending on the size, the standard size, usually charge like 170, 180 to go to Accra. And I think Kumasi is $200. It's a good size. I'm gonna insert some pictures so you guys can see some of the wardrobes that I sent over. Let me see. I also sent different sizes. So like there were shorter ones, so they would charge like 150, 160, depending on, you know, the size. And so the weight, they don't really care about the weight because they just feel like the size is what they care about, depending on how much stuff they can put. Some people buy like an entire container and send all their things in there. That's a lot. I don't know the cost of that, but some people do that. But I didn't do that. I just sent boxes and wardrobes here and there, and wardrobe barrels here and there. I did send my TV because I felt like I just had bought that TV and it's a good size, like a 70-inch. I heard that in Ghana they don't have a lot of those huge TVs. In the States, obviously, we have them in abundance, so I just decided to send it over. You know, it's just one or two things that, you know, are going to be 110, but I thought that was a good investment because, you know, it's a good TV. And I just recently bought it, so I was like, no, let me just send it over. So yeah, you can send over wardrobes, you can send over boxes, any shape and size. I sent over a box that was really long because it was like part of like the kids' bunk bed, and then that box was like $100. Like, so depending on how the box looks and how, you know, the shape, they'll let you know the price. Yeah, so it depends on, you know, what you're sending and stuff like that. But in my opinion, I think the wardrobe is best. You can kind of take the front down, and hopefully the boxes that you buy are like that, but that's the one I bought, and you can take the front down and kind of put your things in nicely and stack everything properly, and then you can, you know, so once you're done, you're gonna wanna wrap everything up, tape it up, kind of really put some plastic around it to kind of protect it from any elements that could be in the container, because again, these items are going in a container, which will then go into a ship, which is going to be on the sea, and you never know what's going to happen. So anything can happen. So you don't want it to get to your house and then it looks crazy. So that gets to my next point, which is I mentioned cost and fees. So the cool thing is with them, a lot of these shipping companies is that they do door-to-door service. So they come physically to your house in the States. Again, I'm not quite sure about Europe and other places, but I'm pretty sure it's probably the same thing. They come to your house and they pick up the items. They give you, you know, the price. They tell you the quote or anything like that. They tell you how much is it, and then you don't have to pay up front. You don't have to. You can pay. You have to pay before the items get cleared in the port in Tema, though. So you can pay up to the time they tell you, okay, your things are here in Ghana, you have to pay, otherwise they're not going to get them out. They're not going to, you know, send them to your place. So you can pay. Usually the items take like 6 weeks or so to get to Ghana from New York. I'm not quite sure about other places, but that's usually how long it takes to cross over the Atlantic and to get to Ghana. So you can pay within that time period. Obviously, they would prefer you to pay upfront, but you don't have to. You can pay later on, as long as you pay before the items, you know, can get cleared from the harbor. Also, so they do a door-to-door service, like I said. So they pick up the things from your house directly in front of you, and they put them into their van, and they send them over to, you know, their shipping yard or wherever they kind of fill up. You know, they collect everyone's items, and then they end up going to fill up the container and stuff like that. And then when it gets to Ghana, they'll also call. So again, I forgot to mention, on the items, you should have it labeled stating who is going to pick up the items, or who is the receiver, where is the items going, and who is it for. So you can mention a family member or whoever is going to be there for you to receive the items, their name, their address. If they're in Accra or Kumasi, please, you should clearly write that, and then their phone number. You can even write 2 just in case, because sometimes there's no service or the phone is cut off, or, you know, anything can happen. So the person who's receiving it, then they will call that person, and then the items will then be sent to that person. They'll literally go over to the person's house. You just give them the directions, and they'll come over and drop the items. So it's literally door to door. You have no problems. Also, some companies do this, not all companies do this. Some companies have tracking numbers that you can have, so you can track your items. They'll give you a tracking number, and then you can put it into their system, and it will tell you if when the ship will approximately get to Ghana, and you know what date, so that you know, okay, by this time this person who's receiving it should kind of expect a phone call from the company telling them that the items are ready and they're going to come over, and that also you have to have paid already by that time for the items. So yeah, that's pretty much how it works. Shipping to Ghana is pretty easy, as long as you just, you know, again, you know, you have all your ducks in order. You know that you know the prices for certain things. Try also not to go over. If you have a wardrobe, please, if you go over, like if you tape, how should I say this, the wardrobe closes at a certain point. All boxes are like that. They already have a partition for where they should be closed. But if you open up the flaps of the box, and then, you know, fill it up more than what the box is supposed to be filled in, and kind of cover it, they will charge you more for that, and they do not like when you do that. If you have to, fine, just to kind of make sure that, you know, you send only one box. But if you do that, expect them to charge you much more for the wardrobe. Yeah, just kind of, you know, get to know your shippers, get to know your shipping company, get to know them, ask them how often or how long they've been in service. You know, basically get to know the person who comes over to you to come and pick up your items. Ask them when the next ship is going to go out, so then you know when your items are probably going to go out, and then how long it will take to get to Ghana. Probably find from feedback from others, word of mouth, how the shipping company is. So other people will tell you, oh, this shipping company is reliable. No, this one is not reliable. Just kind of weigh your options and see which one works better for you. And just keep in mind that, you know, we take, you know, in everything we do, we take risks. But I think with the shipping company, with your items, you should be okay. Again, some people do send like their entire house with them to Ghana. I wouldn't, like, I know for a fact that you should definitely send over your bed, your mattress. I've heard a lot of people say that the mattresses in Ghana are not very comfortable, depending on what you like. Or at least if you're not used to that, it's something not easy to get used to. So, you know, if you have your, you know, your plush mattress here, and you go over and you don't have that, that's hard because you need to sleep on something comfortable. So you should send something like that. And then with the mattresses, usually they go for a standard price as well, depending if it's a queen or a king. They'll let you know how much it's going to cost. I remember I sent over my queen size mattress, and I think it was roughly, I don't know, I think it was like $150 or $200. No, I think it was a good price. I think it was almost $300. I'm not quite sure, but it's been a while that I sent that one over. But yeah, that was worth it though, because I know for a fact that they don't have the best quality beds there. So, you know, you want to make sure you send over everything so you feel comfortable. Yeah, and so just, you know, take your time, buy everything that you need little by little by little, and then by the time, you know, you can fill up your wardrobe. And once it's full, make sure it's really full though, don't have it all shaky. You fill it up nice and tight so that it's nice and firm, so that you don't have any problems with, you know, it being smooshed by another box, because you just don't know how they're packing it in the containers. You can have it ready, and you just call them and they'll come over, set a date, and come pick it up, and let you know from there. So yeah, just let me know, guys, if you have any more questions about shipping things to Ghana. If you have any questions or concerns, I'll be happy to answer them or address them. And yeah, so all right, guys, so thank you for watching. If you like the content on my channel, please like, share, and subscribe, and always stay healthy and happy. Bye. Thank you for watching.